only 1% control their thoughts before 8 a.m. That statement sounds dramatic, but look around. Before the sun has fully risen, most people have already surrendered the most valuable territory they own, their own mind. They wake up, reach for their phone, and immediately invite the opinions, fears, expectations, and distractions of the world into their consciousness. Before they have even spoken to themselves, the world has already spoken for them. Think about that for a moment. The first battle of every day is not fought in the office. It is not fought in school. It is not fought in business, meetings, competitions, or relationships. The first battle is fought in silence, in the few moments after your eyes open. That is where the direction of your entire day is decided. Most people never realize they are in this battle. They believe they are simply waking up, but they are actually negotiating with comfort. They are negotiating with excuses. They are negotiating with habits that have been repeated thousands of times. Your mind begins speaking immediately. Sleep a little longer. You deserve a break. You can start tomorrow. Check your notifications. It won't matter. Every one of these thoughts appears harmless. None of them sounds dangerous. That is exactly why they are powerful. Destruction rarely announces itself with a loud voice. More often, it arrives as a whisper that feels reasonable. The strongest prison is not built with walls. It is built with repeated thoughts that you stop questioning. If every morning begins with the same unconscious routine, eventually every year begins to look the same. Then one day you wake up and wonder where your potential disappeared. Potential does not disappear overnight. It dissolves one distracted morning at a time. There is a reason mornings carry such power. Before life accelerates, before responsibilities multiply, before conversations begin, your mind is still soft. It is impressionable. Whatever enters it first leaves the deepest imprint. Imagine your mind as fresh snow. The very first footprints determine the path that others will naturally follow. If the first footprints belong to anxiety, the rest of the day walks in anxiety. If the first footprints belong to discipline, clarity, and purpose, the day begins moving in a completely different direction. The question is simple: who places the first footprints? You or the world? Many people believe controlling thoughts means never experiencing negative emotions. That is impossible. Every human being experiences fear. Every human being experiences doubt. Every human being experiences moments of uncertainty. The difference is not in what appears. The difference is in what receives permission to stay. A negative thought entering your mind is not failure. Building your home around it is. Your thoughts are visitors. Most people turn every visitor into a permanent resident. One uncomfortable memory appears, and suddenly it occupies the entire morning. One criticism returns from yesterday, and now today's confidence disappears. One fear about the future arrives, and suddenly the present moment becomes invisible. But ask yourself something. Have your thoughts earned your trust? Just because your mind says something does not make it true. The mind is a storyteller. Sometimes it tells stories based on reality. Sometimes it tells stories based on fear. Learning to distinguish between the two is one of the greatest skills a human being can develop. Every morning gives you that opportunity. Notice your thoughts. Observe them, question them. Do not immediately obey them. There is incredible freedom in realizing that awareness comes before reaction. The moment you observe a thought instead of becoming it, space appears. Within that space lies choice, and choice is where transformation begins. People often ask, why discipline feels difficult. Because discipline is not fighting the alarm clock. It is fighting the identity you have practiced for years. Every habit creates evidence. Every action tells your brain a story about who you are. When you wake up early, despite discomfort, your brain receives evidence. I keep promises. When you choose silence instead of endless scrolling, your brain receives evidence. I decide what enters my attention. When you exercise before excuses grow louder, your brain receives evidence. I move before motivation arrives. Confidence is built this way, not through positive thinking alone. Through repeated evidence that your actions match your intentions. This is why morning matters so much. It is your first opportunity to collect evidence. Before anyone praises you, before anyone criticizes you, before anyone notices your effort, you already know whether you honored your own standards. And that private victory carries extraordinary strength. The world celebrates visible achievements, but invisible victories create visible achievements. Nobody applauds the person who chooses discipline while everyone else sleeps. Nobody records the moment someone resists distraction. Nobody hands out trophies for refusing to surrender to laziness. Yet those quiet moments eventually produce everything people admire. The mountain does not suddenly appear. It is built from countless unseen stones. Your character works the same way. Most people spend enormous energy trying to control circumstances. Very few spend that same energy controlling attention. Yet attention determines experience. Where your attention goes, your emotional life follows. If your attention constantly returns to problems, your world appears filled with problems. If your attention returns to opportunities, your mind begins searching for possibilities. This is not blind optimism. This is trained perception. Two people can face the exact same morning. One sees obstacles. The other sees preparation. The circumstances remain identical. Only the interpretation changes. Interpretation shapes reality far more than people realize. This is why protecting the first hour of your day is not selfish. It is responsible. If your mind is scattered before breakfast, how will it become focused under pressure? If you cannot remain calm in silence, how will you remain calm in chaos? Strength is never created during the crisis. The crisis simply reveals what was practiced beforehand. The athlete does not become skilled during the competition. The musician does not master the instrument during the performance. Preparation always comes first. Life operates by the same principle. Your mornings are your preparation. Every intentional breath, every disciplined decision, every moment of focused attention. You are training for challenges that have not yet arrived. Most people wait until suffering appears before they begin strengthening themselves. But wisdom trains before necessity demands it. Look at nature. The tree develops deep roots before the storm. It does not negotiate with the wind while falling. It prepares long before anyone notices. Your inner life deserves the same commitment. Many people fear silence because silence removes distraction. Without distraction, you finally hear your own mind. Some discover anxiety, some discover regret, some discover loneliness. Instead of listening, they immediately search for noise, more videos, more music, more messages, more endless stimulation, anything to avoid themselves. But avoidance never creates freedom. It only delays understanding. Sit with yourself. Observe your breathing. Notice the movement of your thoughts. You may discover something surprising. Not every thought deserves your emotional investment. Some simply pass by like clouds. Clouds never ask permission to enter the sky. They simply appear. You do not become the cloud. You become the sky that allows it to pass. Your awareness is larger than any temporary emotion. Remember that, especially in the early morning, there will always be reasons to postpone growth. Life will always provide convincing excuses. You are tired, you are busy, you are overwhelmed. Perhaps all of those things are true. But growth does not wait for perfect circumstances. Growth begins with imperfect action. One conscious breath, one intentional choice, one disciplined morning, then another, then another. People search for dramatic transformations because they are exciting. Real transformation is usually quiet. It is almost invisible. You become slightly more patient, slightly more focused, slightly less reactive, slightly more consistent. After months, those small differences become impossible to ignore. The world calls it overnight success. You remember thousands of unnoticed mornings. Never underestimate repetition. Water appears gentle, yet over time it shapes mountains. One morning changes little. 100 intentional mornings change a life. Do not ask whether today's effort is enough. Ask whether today's effort is consistent with the person you wish to become. Identity always comes before destiny. Become the kind of person who protects attention. Become the kind of person who keeps promises made in private. Become the kind of person who acts according to principles instead of emotions. Emotions change like weather. Principles remain steady. Some mornings you will feel inspired. Some mornings you will feel nothing. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It asks what must be done. There is dignity in that. Freedom is often misunderstood. People think freedom means doing whatever they want, whenever they want. But if every impulse controls you, are you truly free? If your mood determines your actions, who is leading your life? Freedom begins when wisdom becomes stronger than impulse, when intention becomes stronger than habit, when awareness becomes stronger than reaction. That freedom cannot be purchased. It cannot be inherited. It must be practiced. Every sunrise offers another opportunity. You may not control the economy. You may not control the weather. You may not control the behavior of other people. But before 8 a.m., there exists a sacred window where one question matters more than any other. Who will guide your mind today? If the answer is fear, fear will guide your words. If the answer is distraction, distraction will guide your decisions. If the answer is discipline, discipline will quietly influence everything that follows. People often wait for life to become easier before becoming stronger. Life rarely makes that bargain. Instead, it invites you to become stronger first. Then, what once seemed overwhelming begins to appear manageable. Strength changes perception, not because problems disappear, because your capacity expands. Every difficult season eventually ends. The person you become while walking through it may remain forever. That is why the morning matters. It is not about waking early to impress anyone. It is not about productivity for its own sake. It is about remembering that your attention is precious. Your thoughts are powerful. Your awareness is your greatest responsibility. Protect it, train it, refine it. The world will always compete for your focus. Advertisements will compete. Social media will compete. Fear will compete. Comparison will compete. Every morning, countless voices will attempt to tell you what deserves your attention. But there is one voice they cannot silence unless you allow them to. The quiet voice that reminds you of your values, The quiet voice that remembers your purpose. The quiet voice that asks you to become slightly better than yesterday. Listen carefully. It rarely shouts. It does not force. It simply waits. Those who learn to hear it begin living differently, not because their lives become easier, because their inner world becomes steadier. When the inner world is stable, the outer world loses much of its power to disturb you. Imagine carrying that stability into every conversation, every setback, every opportunity, every challenge. Imagine no longer reacting automatically. Imagine responding with clarity instead of impulse. Imagine beginning each day knowing that your first victory was over yourself. No audience witnessed it. No camera recorded it. No applause followed it. Yet it changed everything, because every great achievement begins with invisible mastery. Not mastery over other people, not mastery over circumstances, mastery over your own attention. That is the rarest form of strength, and it is available every single morning. Before 8 a.m., the world asks for your attention. Before 8 a.m., comfort asks for your obedience. Before 8 a.m., old habits ask for another chance. But before 8 a.m., you also have an opportunity that cannot be recovered once it passes. The opportunity to decide that your mind belongs to you, not to yesterday's regrets, not to tomorrow's worries, not to someone else's expectations, to you. Guard that decision with consistency. Protect it with discipline. Strengthen it through repetition, because the quality of your mornings quietly becomes the quality of your life. And the people who seem unshakable are rarely born that way. They simply learned, one sunrise at a time, that the greatest victory is not conquering the world before breakfast. It is refusing to let the world conquer your mind before the day has even begun. There is a quiet moment every morning that almost nobody notices. It exists between waking and reacting. It is only a few seconds long. Yet within those few seconds lives the direction of an entire day. Most people waste it because they have trained themselves to respond before they become aware. The alarm rings. The hand reaches for the phone. The eyes begin searching for stimulation. The mind begins consuming instead of creating. By the time they stand up, they have already accepted someone else's priorities. Ask yourself a difficult question. When was the last time you woke up and simply listened? Not to music, not to the news, not to notifications, not even to your own worries. Just listen to the silence. Silence is uncomfortable because it reveals what noise has been hiding. If your thoughts immediately begin racing, that is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that your mind has been running without guidance for too long. A horse without direction does not become free. It becomes lost. The human mind is no different. It requires leadership, and that leadership cannot be borrowed. No book can think for you. No mentor can breathe for you. No teacher can make your decisions. Eventually, every person reaches a moment where they must become the guardian of their own consciousness. That responsibility is both heavy and beautiful. Heavy because nobody else can carry it. Beautiful because nobody else can take it away. People spend years searching for confidence. They believe confidence arrives after success. But confidence is often created before success. It is created every time you do something your comfort wanted you to avoid. Comfort says, stay where it is familiar. Growth says, take one more step. Comfort says, you might fail. Growth says, you might learn. Comfort measures today's discomfort. Growth measures tomorrow's possibilities. Every morning, these two voices meet. Neither one disappears forever. The difference is simply which one becomes stronger through repetition. Whatever you feed becomes powerful. Feed your excuses and they become convincing. Feed your discipline and it becomes natural. This is why the smallest choices deserve your respect. Many people wait for life-changing opportunities while ignoring life-shaping habits. A single decision may not seem important, choosing water instead of endless scrolling, choosing movement instead of delay, choosing reflection instead of reaction. Each decision appears insignificant by itself, but character is never built from dramatic moments alone. It is built from ordinary moments repeated with extraordinary consistency. Imagine placing one brick every morning, only one. At first, nothing impressive appears. Days pass, weeks pass, months pass. Someone watching from a distance might even laugh. That will never become anything. Yet eventually a wall appears, then a house, then a place of shelter. Habits build lives exactly the same way. Never despise small beginnings. The giant oak was once invisible beneath the soil. People only celebrate what they can see. Nature reminds us that the most important work often happens where no one is looking. Your roots matter more than your appearance. Deep roots produce stable lives. Shallow roots produce impressive moments followed by collapse. Ask yourself another question. If everything external disappeared for one day, who would you become? Without your title, without your followers, without your income, without recognition, would you still know who you are? Many people have confused identity with circumstance. They say, I am successful, I am respected, I am admired. Those are conditions. Conditions change. Indignity must reach deeper. Indignity should sound different. I keep my word. I remain calm under pressure. I act with integrity. I respect my own standards. These qualities travel with you regardless of circumstance. No recession can remove integrity. No criticism can erase discipline. No failure can destroy wisdom that has been genuinely earned. That is why inner work is never wasted. The world rewards appearances. Life eventually tests substance. There is another illusion people carry. They believe they have time, not because anyone promised it to them, simply because tomorrow feels guaranteed. But tomorrow is only an idea. Today is the only place action exists. You cannot breathe tomorrow's air. You cannot make tomorrow's decisions. You cannot build tomorrow's habits. Everything meaningful begins in the present moment, yet the present is constantly abandoned. Some people live in memories, others live in fantasies. Very few live where their feet actually stand. Presence is not passive. Presence is one of the greatest forms of power. When you are fully present, your attention becomes complete. Your conversations improve. Your work improves. Your relationships improve. Even simple experiences become richer. Hey, if you noticed how rarely people truly listen. Usually they are preparing their next response. Their body is here. Their attention is somewhere else. This is not listening, this is waiting. Real listening requires stillness. Stillness requires discipline. Discipline requires intention. Everything connects. Nothing exists in isolation. The quality of your mornings affects the quality of your focus. The quality of your focus affects the quality of your actions. The quality of your actions shapes the quality of your future. People often ask for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It arrives without warning. It disappears without apology. If your life depends on motivation, your progress will always be temporary. Build systems instead. build rituals. Build standards. A ritual continues whether emotions cooperate or not. A standard survives difficult days. When the mind says, skip today, the standard quietly answers, that is not what we do. Notice the language, not that is not what I feel, but that is not who I am. Identity transforms effort into consistency. The strongest people are not necessarily the most talented. Very often they are simply the most consistent. Consistency has a strange kind of magic. It looks ordinary while it is happening. It looks extraordinary after years have passed. A musician practices scales, a writer fills pages. An athlete repeats movements. None of it seems remarkable on any single day. Then one day, the world witnesses excellence and calls it a gift. What they rarely witness are the mornings when nobody was watching. The mornings when quitting would have been easier. The mornings when comfort almost won. Those hidden victories became visible excellence. The same law applies to your character. Patience is practiced. Tenderness is practiced. Courage is practiced. Self-control is practiced. They are not switches, they are muscles. Every decision either strengthens them or weakens them. And like every muscle, they respond to repetition. Do not fear slow progress. Fear unconscious repetition in the wrong direction. Time magnifies whatever you repeat. Repeat distraction for years and distraction becomes identity. Repeat awareness for years and awareness becomes your nature. This is why every sunrise deserves reverence. Not because it is dramatic, because it quietly offers another chance to become intentional, another chance to observe instead of react, another chance to choose your values before circumstances begin making demands. Some people carry yesterday into every morning. Yesterday's embarrassment, yesterday's argument, yesterday's disappointment. They wake up already exhausted because they never truly rested from their own thoughts. There is wisdom in releasing what no longer serves you. Holding onto unnecessary mental burdens is like carrying stones during a long journey. At first, they seem manageable. After enough distance, they become unbearable. Ask yourself, why am I still carrying this? Not every memory deserves daily attention. Not every mistake deserves permanent punishment. Learn from it. Respect the lesson, then continue walking. The purpose of memory is wisdom, not imprisonment. You cannot move freely while constantly looking backward. Neither can you move wisely while constantly imagining disaster ahead. Walk where you are, one deliberate step, then another. Life has always unfolded that way. Nobody climbs a mountain by reaching the summit in one leap. The next step is always enough. People become overwhelmed because they attempt to solve an entire lifetime before breakfast. Instead, solve this moment. Breathe consciously. Stand with intention. Complete the task before you. Then continue. Peace is often found inside simplicity. Complexity exhausts the mind. Simplicity strengthens it. Eat with attention. Walk with attention. Speak with attention. Read with attention. When awareness fills ordinary actions become extraordinary training. Soon you begin noticing things you overlooked before. The sound of the wind, the rhythm of your breathing, the tension in your shoulders, the impatience hiding inside your words. Awareness is not judgment. Awareness is information. Only when you see clearly can you choose wisely. Many people judge themselves before they understand themselves. Understanding must come first. Observe honestly, then improve patiently. Growth built on self-hatred rarely lasts. Growth built on responsibility becomes sustainable. Responsibility says, I may not control everything, but I will control what belongs to me. That sentence alone has the power to transform a life, because it removes blame, it removes excuses, it removes helplessness. Energy that once fueled complaints now fuels action. The world may remain imperfect. Your response does not have to remain unconscious. There will always be people who misunderstand you. There will always be circumstances that challenge you. There will always be uncertainty. Stop waiting for certainty before taking meaningful action. The sailor cannot control the wind. The sailor learns to adjust the sail. Wisdom is adaptation without abandoning direction, flexibility without losing principles, calmness without losing determination, strength without unnecessary aggression. These qualities are developed in quiet moments long before dramatic situations require them. That is why the first hours of the day deserve protection. Treat them as sacred, not because they are magical, because they are foundational. A building cannot stand taller than the strength of its foundation. Neither can a life. If your inner foundation is built upon clarity, discipline, gratitude, and awareness, the inevitable storms of existence may shake you, but they will not easily break you. Others may wonder why you remain steady while circumstances become chaotic. They will search for secret techniques. They will search for shortcuts. Often the answer is much simpler. You practiced when nobody noticed. You learned to guide your thoughts before the world demanded your attention. You built order within yourself before attempting to create order around you. And because of that, each sunrise became more than the beginning of another day. It became another opportunity to shape the kind of person you would be when the rest of the world finally woke up. There comes a moment in every person's life when they begin to notice a pattern. The same frustrations keep returning. The same fears keep repeating. The same disappointments wear different faces, but they carry the same feeling. People often believe they have a problem with circumstances. More often, they have a pattern that has never been questioned. The mind loves familiarity. It would rather remain in a familiar struggle than step into an unfamiliar possibility. This is why change feels uncomfortable. Not because change is painful, because your identity has become attached to what is familiar. If you have spent years believing that you are impatient, then patience feels unnatural. If you have spent years believing that you are lazy, then discipline feels like pretending. If you have spent years believing that you are not capable, every opportunity feels like a threat instead of an invitation. Notice what is happening. Nothing outside has changed. Only the story has become stronger than reality. Every morning, you have the opportunity to interrupt that story. Not by shouting positive affirmations into the mirror. Not by convincing yourself that life is perfect, but by proving through action that yesterday does not have to define today. A single disciplined action can speak louder than 1,000 hopeful thoughts. Stand up when comfort tells you to remain still. Ride when distraction asks for entertainment. Exercise when excuses begin negotiating. Remain silent when anger demands immediate expression. These are not merely actions, they are declarations. Each one quietly says, I refuse to be ruled by my first impulse. The world often mistakes freedom for the absence of discipline. In reality, the opposite is true. Without discipline, every impulse becomes your master. One emotion controls your decisions. One temptation changes your direction. One difficult conversation destroys your peace. One unexpected obstacle ruins your day. Is that freedom? Or is it simply another form of dependence? The strongest chains are often invisible. Some people are chained to approval. They cannot make a decision without wondering what others will think. Others are chained to comfort. Every difficult task feels like an attack. Some are chained to comparison. No achievement ever feels sufficient because someone else appears to have more. Others are chained to fear, not fear of danger. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of beginning. These chains are not made of iron. They are made of repeated thoughts, accepted without examination. A person may appear successful on the outside while remaining completely imprisoned within. That is why external success alone can never satisfy an undisciplined mind. No amount of recognition can silence a voice that has never learned peace. No amount of wealth can purchase self-respect. No amount of applause can replace the quiet confidence that comes from honoring your own values. Real wealth begins inside. Not because money lacks importance, but because without inner stability, every external achievement becomes fragile. Imagine carrying a full cup of water. If your hand shakes, even a beautiful cup cannot prevent the water from spilling. Strengthen the hand first. Life is the same. Strengthen the mind. Strengthen your awareness. Strengthen your character. Then whatever life places into your hands can be carried with greater steadiness. Many people spend years trying to become interesting. Far fewer spend time becoming deeply attentive. An attentive person notices what others ignore. They notice their breathing becoming shallow before anxiety takes control. They notice irritation appearing before harsh words escape. They notice pride growing before humility disappears. This awareness creates choice. Without awareness, there is only habit. Habit says, this is simply who I am. Awareness says, this is what I have repeated. Those are completely different statements. The first creates helplessness, the second creates possibility. If something has been repeated, it can be replaced, slowly, gently, deliberately. There is no need to rush transformation. Nurture never rushes. The sunrise does not hurry. The seasons do not compete. A seed never becomes frustrated because it is not yet a forest. It simply continues growing. Human beings create unnecessary suffering because they compare their chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Comparison steals attention from the only place growth can happen. Your own path. When you compare constantly, gratitude disappears. When gratitude disappears, abundance becomes invisible. You begin overlooking everything that is already supporting your life, the breath entering your lungs, the strength still present in your body, the people who genuinely care for you, the opportunity to begin again. Gratitude is not pretending difficulties do not exist. It is refusing to become blind to what still remains good. A grateful mind is not weaker. It is clearer. It sees the whole picture instead of only the darkest corner. Every morning, ask yourself one question. What is already here that deserves appreciation? Not because gratitude solves every problem, because gratitude changes the person facing the problem. The same challenge encountered by a resentful mind becomes heavier. The same challenge encountered by a grateful mind becomes more manageable. Perspective changes experience. This does not mean ignoring pain. Pain deserves honesty. Loss deserves mourning. Disappointment deserves acknowledgement. Strength is not emotional numbness. Strength is remaining conscious without becoming consumed. There will be mornings when your heart feels heavy. There will be mornings when your body feels tired. There will be mornings when your confidence seems distant. Those mornings matter even more because discipline has its greatest value precisely when enthusiasm is absent. Anyone can move when inspiration is overflowing. The true test comes when silence replaces excitement. Will you still honor your commitments? Will you still choose awareness over reaction? Will you still remember who you intend to become? These are the mornings that quietly shape destiny. Every challenge carries an invitation, not an invitation to suffer, an invitation to discover another layer of yourself. Pressure reveals, it reveals impatience, it reveals courage, it reveals insecurity, it reveals resilience. Do not resent what pressure uncovers. Be grateful. Now you know what deserves your attention. A mirror does not insult you by showing your reflection. It simply reveals what already exists. Awareness works the same way. People often avoid honest self-examination because they fear what they might find. But avoiding the mirror never changes the face. Looking clearly is the first act of courage. Then comes responsibility, then comes transformation. Do not become discouraged because growth feels slow. Slow growth is still growth. Invisible growth is still growth. Some of the most profound changes happen long before anyone else notices them. One day you realize that something which once disturbed you no longer controls you. Someone insults you and your peace remains. A setback occurs and panic does not immediately appear. A temptation arrives and you smile instead of surrendering. These victories are quiet. They rarely receive celebration, yet they are among the greatest victories a human being can experience, because they represent mastery over self. And mastery over self creates a life that cannot be easily shaken by circumstance. The world constantly encourages speed, faster communication, faster success, faster results. But wisdom often grows at the pace of stillness. Some answers cannot be forced. Some understanding arrives only after patient observation. When muddy water is stirred, it becomes impossible to see through it. Leave it undisturbed. Eventually it becomes clear. Your mind follows the same principle. Constant stimulation keeps it cloudy. Moments of stillness allow clarity to emerge on its own. You do not always need more information. Sometimes you need fewer interruptions. Not every empty moment requires filling. Allow yourself to experience silence without immediately escaping it. The greatest conversations you will ever have are often the ones that happen without words. A conversation with your own conscience, a conversation with your own values, a conversation with the quiet awareness that asks difficult questions. Are your actions aligned with your beliefs? Do your habits reflect your ambitions? Are you becoming someone you would trust? These questions require courage because they cannot be answered honestly through excuses. Excuses protect comfort. Questions create growth. Learn to ask better questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of asking, why am I not motivated? Ask, what action can I take regardless of motivation? Instead of asking, when will life become easier? Ask, who must I become to carry greater responsibility? Questions shape attention. Attention shapes action. Action shapes identity. Identity shapes life. Everything begins with the direction of the mind. Remember that your thoughts are not commands. They are suggestions. Some deserve to be followed. Many deserve to be observed and released. A fearful thought is not an order. An angry thought is not an obligation. A doubtful thought is not a prophecy. It is only a visitor. You choose whether to offer it a chair or the keys to your home. Most suffering grows because people mistake every passing thought for absolute truth. Learn to smile at the mind occasionally. Watch it create stories. Watch it imagine disasters. Watch it replay old conversations. Observe it with curiosity rather than blind obedience. The observer within you is calmer than the storyteller. Return to that observer often, especially before the world begins demanding your attention. The morning belongs to whoever claims it consciously, not to whoever wakes up earliest, not to whoever accomplishes the most tasks, but to whoever begins the day with intention instead of reaction. Imagine living this way not for a week, not for a month, but for years. Imagine thousands of mornings where your first decision is not dictated by habit, but guided by awareness. Those mornings accumulate, they become your character. Your character becomes your reputation. Your reputation influences your opportunities, and eventually people assume you were simply born disciplined. They never see the countless invisible moments where you chose the harder path. They see the tree, they never witnessed the years the roots spent growing beneath the ground. Your life is growing roots every single day. Whether those roots are strengthened by awareness or weakened by distraction depends on what you repeatedly practice. Nothing extraordinary is required. Only sincerity, only consistency, only the willingness to meet each sunrise as though your mind is the most valuable responsibility you have ever been given, because it is.